Carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas that acts as a blanket surrounding the Earth. This blanket prevents the sun's heat from escaping into space, keeping the Earth warm. But when we release more greenhouse gases into our atmosphere, the Earth gets even hotter, leading to global warming and climate change. Let us now take a look at the sources of carbon dioxide. They are power. The production of power uses coal, hydro plants, or biofuel, which releases high amounts of CO2 into the atmosphere. Fuel. There are over 8.5 crore vehicles in India, most of which burn petrol or fuel, thus releasing CO2. Water. Supplying water, whether by pumping it from below the ground or transporting it in tankers, requires energy. Producing this energy releases CO2. Waste. Producing, packaging, transporting, and disposing of products consumes energy. This energy consumption can be reduced if we reduce, reuse, and recycle. And trees. The more trees we plant, the more CO2 the trees will absorb from the atmosphere. These 5 sources form the energy puzzle. As the Earth heats up, natural weather patterns are affected. This leads to unusual periods of intense heat or cold, sudden showers, and even prolonged periods of no rainfall. These changing climate and rainfall patterns can thus cause floods, storms, droughts, or heat waves. Disasters caused by climate change include flood, an overflow of a large amount of water beyond its normal limits, especially over what is normally dry land. Storm, a violent disturbance of the atmosphere with strong winds and usually rain, thunder, lightning, or snow. Drought, a prolonged period of abnormally low rainfall leading to a shortage of water. Heat wave, a prolonged period of abnormally hot weather. Disasters not caused by climate change include earthquake, a sudden violent shaking of the ground, typically causing great destruction as a result of movements within the Earth's crust or volcanic action. Tsunami, a long high sea wave caused by an earthquake or other disturbance. Fire, a rapid persistent chemical change that releases heat and light and is accompanied by flame. Biological disaster, the devastating effects caused by an enormous spread of a certain kind of living organism that may spread a disease, virus, or epidemic. The best way to stay safe during a disaster is to have an emergency safety kit in place ahead of time. We can make one ourselves at home. First, we'll need a big plastic box. One with a lid is best. Use a marker to write "Safety Kit" on a big piece of tape and stick it onto the box. Find an easy-to-reach place to keep the box so you can find it quickly when it's needed. Let our family know what spot we have chosen. Now we are ready to fill up your box. Ask a grown-up to help us find torches, a battery-operated radio, extra batteries, a small fire extinguisher, first aid supplies like bandages and medicines, blankets and extra clothes, few bottles of water, snacks like biscuits and dry fruits. Other things we should have. If we have room, we can add a few fun things like coloring books and crayons, a deck of cards, puzzles, and board games. These will come in handy if we are stuck indoors. Make sure we keep a list of important contact numbers of relatives, neighbors, utility services like the gas company and electricity supplier, and emergency services like police, ambulance, and fire brigade. It is also a good idea to have at least one landline phone in our house. An important aspect of disaster preparedness is having an evacuation plan. Towards this end, we can draw a map of a residential community. Within the map, let's identify open, safe gathering places, easiest routes to your gathering point, potential hazard areas like garbage dumps, power lines, factories, and water bodies, emergency resources like police stations, hospitals, and fire stations. Make such a map for our school locality as well. We could use this map as a guide to conducting mock evacuation drills in our school or residential locality with the help of adults and school authorities. Take a photo of your family with your emergency safety kit and submit it along with your energy bills. Submit your community and school map along with your energy bills. Make copies of the given disaster prevention, preparedness, and to-do tips and share them with your neighbors. Collect signatures from those whom you have sensitized. In the long run, natural disasters can be prevented through resource conservation. In the short run, natural disasters can be managed through preparedness. Prevent and prepare. Inspect our home for weaknesses and help to protect doors, drains, and access points. Do not clog drains with litter and plastic bags. Ensure there is no exposed wiring in and around your house. Prepare an emergency safety kit that includes food supplies, water, medicines, torches, and batteries. Make sure a family has an emergency plan. This includes a common safe spot to gather, emergency contact persons, and numbers of emergency services. Make sure that each family member has an identity card and move all valuables and important documents to a bank, if possible, or to a higher place in the house. Listen to forecasts and announcements made by local government bodies and act accordingly. Avoid traveling during high tide and heavy rains, especially if they occur simultaneously. Evacuate low-lying areas and shift to safer places. Do not wade through flood water, and if you must, hold on to railings or use a stick to guide you. Do not walk near riverbanks, open drains, and seashores. Do not consume food and water that has been in contact with flood water. Ask an adult to switch off electrical and gas mains if our immediate surroundings are flooded, and do not use electrical appliances that have come in contact with water. As a rule, make sure we and our family use only as much water as we need. Follow basic water conservation practices, including taking a bucket bath, washing clothes only when there is a full load, watering plants with a can, and dry washing cars. Fix leaking taps and turn them off when not in use. Recycle water. For example, you can use water used to wash vegetables to water your plants. Store rainwater and use it as much as we can. Do not use potable water for cleaning purposes. Do not waste drinking water. Take only as much as we need. Store drinking water at home and use it as needed. Keep ourselves hydrated and stay away from the sun. Listen to announcements and messages by local government bodies and act accordingly. In general, let's follow these rules to stay safe during a disaster. Do not panic or cause others to panic. Stay calm and listen to instructions. Follow practiced evacuation routes. Do not push and scream when moving to a safer area. Take care of those who need our help, like babies, the elderly, and the injured. As an energy champion, we can now save energy by saving fuel, saving electricity, saving water, managing waste, and planting trees. When you save fuel, you contribute towards reducing pollution. And by saving electricity, you help in conserving our natural resources. When you save water, you play a part in protecting the country's water bodies. And when you manage waste, you help build a cleaner India. When you plant more trees, you help in protecting and increasing green cover. Let's recall the commandments of energy, resource, civic and moral values conservation. These commandments are aimed at building a better nation by creating responsible citizens. We can save electricity by switching off appliances from the plug point, using LED lights and BEE 5-star rated appliances only, setting AC temperatures at 26 degrees Celsius or more, lowering the use of electrically charged heating and cooling appliances. We can save water by reducing water consumption by fixing leaky taps, having a bucket bath, and turning the tap off when brushing your teeth and recycling water. We can manage waste by using the 3 R's: reduce, reuse, and recycle. We can protect and plant trees and save the forest cover. We can save fuel by traveling efficiently, using public transport, cycling, or walking, covering utensils while cooking, or using a pressure cooker, preparing ingredients before cooking, and eating food when it's hot, and switching off car engines at signals.